episode 23. Your host, Nick Trapani. What the fuck is going on, guys? What's happening? What's been happening in your world? It's a funny way to start something, isn't it? Because you can't answer me. And very early on in my stand-up career, I learnt one of the worst things to do is get up on stage and ask the audience how they're going. Like, you're going to get this bombarded. Either they're not going to answer you at all, or you're just going to get this good from everyone. And it's ridiculous. And then you can't go anywhere from that. So I don't even acknowledge the crowd now. I just get up and start my set. But what's happening in the world? What's been happening? I've had a really good couple of weeks, actually. Very busy at work still, which is fantastic. But apart from that, I had... I'd booked 2 nights away with my wife. We're staying in the city. A little stay away vacation because we can't travel around anywhere really at the moment still. It's a real risk to go interstate, whatnot. There's some issues in Brisbane at the moment. So you just, you travel around Melbourne. And that week we'd had a conversation that I don't spend enough time with the family, that I'm always doing my own thing, comedy, work, visiting my friends, that type of thing. And literally the day we booked it, I had a friend call me and he said that, can we organise a dinner for the weekend? And straight away my instant answer was yes, of course we can. Of course we can do it. And I got off the phone and I thought to myself, no, for once I'm going to do the right thing. And I messaged him back and I said, look, I'd love to. Let's tee it up for the following week. I've got to do this thing, this one weekend. Now, little did I know that one of my good friends makes me the best friend. You know when people say, my best friend? Isn't that fucking ridiculous? My best friend. Like, we're rating our friends now. Like it's a system that we're all going to be part of, and you need to work your way to the top of my best friend. But he's a good friend, and he's moved to Tassie now, and he moved down just before the lockdown, which means he only took half his shit there, and he hasn't been able to come back and get the rest of it. But my other 2 close mates knew that if they could organise a surprise dinner and not tell me that he was down or he was up here in Melbourne, that I'd walk in and he'd be there. And, to me, the fact it didn't work. They had to get onto my wife and then they had to tell me because it wasn't going to happen, because I was sticking to my plan of, for once in my life, being a good husband and a good father. But the fact that they thought about doing this for me is just enough, that they know that when I walked in and seen him, they probably didn't know. I probably would have weed my pants. That's how excited I would have been. And, that thought that went into it, that they were going to do that for me to surprise me, that I would see him, that means a lot, and that's good friends that would do that, because they all know how much I'm missing him, and the fact that we can't see each other and get over to Tassie. It's been very difficult at the moment, that this was just a fantastic little surprise. So I did once again get to go out on my family holiday to a boys' night. We went out for dinner, we went out for drinks, and it was just a really good night to do that. And the best thing about staying in the city, when you're partying in the city, is that you just go upstairs to your hotel room. There's nothing worse than that fucking Uber drive home when you're utterly shattered. You're sitting there exhausted in the back of the Uber, and it's a 40-minute ride home, and you're getting old. You're getting old when all you want to do is get to bed, and that Uber is just driving so slow because he doesn't care. He's up all night. This is his life. He lives that. He breathes that. That's his driving someone. He's now got a ride. That's his thing. That's what he lives for. He gets up in the morning or the afternoon, late afternoon, starts his shift. Life. Now we're driving. His mission is being completed. That's him. Whereas me, I'm in the back, shattered, coked out of my fried, and all I want to do is lay in my bed and look at the ceiling, and I'm looking at the back of his head. And I just want to be home, and that fight in my head, I just want to get home. But it was a fantastic night, and then all I did is go upstairs, hop in my bed, and sleep. It was amazing. Woke up in the morning, went for a nice swim in the steam room. Mason was running amok. And it was just a fantastic weekend away. But to top it off, having that night out with the boys and, seeing my friend who I hadn't seen, my best friend, who I hadn't seen in such a long time, just really made it a special weekend. So, but then my wife's organised for us to go back now because I didn't fulfil my duties with the family. So now we have to do 2.0 trip away again, Nick spending time with the family. But it's been interesting. It's been an interesting couple of weeks because so many good things have happened. The Melbourne Comedy Festival has started, and I didn't get enough experience out there working on material to have a show in this festival. I was supposed to do one previously when the lockdown happened and shut down that festival. I was supposed to have one on then. But I'm taking this as a bit of a learning curve. I went out to see a show on the weekend that was fantastic. It was a solo show of a guy that I've been in the circuit with. I've seen him grow into an amazing comedian. So basically picking up pointers and seeing how he's done things has inspired me. So next year, that's my goal, is to have my own show in the Comedy Festival in 2022. So that's the plan. But it was interesting watching the setup and how it all works and what to do, what not to do. There was some dickhead in the back laying down, yelling shit the whole time. There was basically a spot where Gavin, who was the comedian, was going on this rant, and it was just getting to the punchline, and this moron yelled out, "You're ranting a bit now, mate." Of course he's ranting. That's part of it, you dickhead. And you spoiled it right before the fucking punchline. You're a moron. And they think they can come to these comedy shows and it's your job to cop shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I heard, a very famous comedian using the line once a heckler yelled something out, "We don't come to your work and knock the sailors' dicks out of your mouth." Now, that's a funny line anyway, but it's true. A lot of people think they can come to a comedy show and yell shit out and it's going to be about them. We spend a lot of time. Now, Gavin had done about 100 gigs prior to this show to perfect his set for this show. Now, there's a lot of work. Everything that gets put into that. Time, effort, writing it down. You don't get to see all the behind the scenes shit. We make it look easy. That's part of it. And you're yelling nonsense out because you think it's funny. Now, part of me wanted to hit this guy because he ruined the show, basically. Well, not ruined the show was still good, but it's almost like he wanted to be a comedian. He never made it. So he'd come to shows, get really drunk and fucking yell shit out at people like us who are trying to perform, who are actually talent. You're not talented. You're sitting in the back like a moron. Your friends are leaving you because you're a dickhead. I don't even know if they're your friends. Maybe they met you or they thought they'd sit with you because you were kind of funny before the show. Now you're a maggot. You're pissed and you're just yelling. You're not even funny. He wasn't even funny. It's not even like it was good what he was doing. It was just rubbish. And he kept doing it the whole way through. And then after the show, he sort of hung around because he wanted to tell Gavin that he did a really good job. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all of what he was doing. But the venue was really cool, actually. It was at Storyville in Melbourne, in the CBD. And Gavin's still got a week to go. So, jump on the Comedy Festival webpage and book a ticket to his show. I'm trying to think of the name he called it. It was his middle name. I can't remember now. It will come to me and I'll put a link down the bottom. As I said, there's still a week to go of the festival, of his show. It's well worth going to see. And, we want to support these up-and-coming comedians because they're the ones that are sort of doing it tough. They're doing it on their own. They're promoting their own shows. The comedy festival actually doesn't give them any support other than selling their tickets and taking their money for a license for the show. So get out there, support these guys, and you won't be disappointed because, as I said, the venue was amazing. I'd never been to this place, Storyville, and it was basically I walked in and I was tripping balls because there was magic mushrooms everywhere. There were cocktails that were on fire. They were sprinkling, I don't know, like cocaine on it, and it was lighting up, and I'm thinking it's a waste of cocaine. I don't know what it was, like a pepper shaker, and then it would create all these sparkles. It was a really like fantasy type place. And you could just go in there and get lost. I want to go there for a night out just drinking and having a good time with some friends. There's booths to sit down, and then you go upstairs to the room, and it's a really intimate little room. It's beautiful. Very well set up. I wouldn't mind doing a show there one day myself. And the part that I found most interesting was sort of the beforehand, you know, being an audience member and sitting there waiting for the show to start and people to come out. I guess if you are a comedian and you're sitting in the crowd, you're kind of like, you're just taking it in as an audience member. But you're probably thinking, you're looking around going, I could never walk out on stage in front of this many people and perform. It would just be something that would be mortifying, but I found myself sitting there itching. It was like when I used to play sport, where I used to do martial arts, I used to do kickboxing, and I was a trainer for 5 people. I put 5 people in the ring for Muay Thai fights. And it was so hard for me to be on the sideline and not be fighting. Like, you're just itching to get out there and fight. And that's the same feeling I got. Like, I just want that, you know, that person to be out there, my opener, basically, doing his set and me being out the back, just getting pumped to come out and do my set, and those people waiting for me to come out. You know, like, it seems so right. And you know that you're on the right path with something that you're doing in life when you get you're watching someone else and you can put yourself in that position where you know exactly that that's where you want to be, and you can set yourself that goal to do it. So, look, there's plenty more shows in the comedy festival that I want to go see. It's very hard to find the time. A lot of them are overlapping. It's probably a good year to do it because there's not a lot of international acts, you know, coming in because the quarantining, the flights, it's ridiculous. So, you know, get out there and check out some of these up and coming artists. That's where it's at. And do that next year when I've got a show. Wait till next year and then do a show, you know. But it's funny with the heckling and things like that. It's quite a funny little scenario. I went to my friend's house a little while ago, and you know, his wife was hurling all this abuse at me, and I kind of you know, I just shut my mouth, and you know, then I left and whatever, and he ended up having a bit of a, you know, chat with his wife and said, why did you do that to Nick? You know, he just came here and, you know, you basically just bombarded him with all this stuff. And her response, it was, well, he's a comedian. He should be handling someone giving him shit. And it's quite a funny way of looking at it because I'm a comedian, you can just hurl abuse at me like I'm, you know, I'm not a person. It's like, but it's almost like he's a massage therapist, so he should be able to like treat me and massage me while he's not at work. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm not getting, you know, I'm not getting paid at that point to take your shit. Unless you want to give me money, and then you can give me all the shit you like. And then, but so long as we're open with that and you're like, hey, Nick, I'm going to give you shit. You can give me shit back and this is going to be fun. And maybe you can get some material out of this. But that's not the way it was. So I'm going to use that now as material in my podcast. Because I'm going to get something out of it, right? You gave me a lot of shit. And, you know, some of it was funny and some of it I didn't know how to take. And I just sort of let it slide. It's funny how we do that. We sort of just let things slide because, you know, we don't want to... If I open my mouth, there's no line. So I'm going to start far on the other side of the line. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to ruin a friendship. This is going to be hard. Let's just leave it at that. But now I know that that's the thing. Maybe let's see, next time I go if there's going to be if I'm going to cop abuse, and then now I know that you're doing it because I'm a comedian, and I'm going to give it back twice as hard, and let's see if we can keep up with each other. So maybe it can be a little bit of fun. I don't know, but it's interesting how people think. I had aunties when I first started my massage business saying, "Oh, if you want to practice, you can come practice on me." Practice? I've been doing this for 5 years. I've set up my own company. I've been working at elite levels of sporting clubs, and you want me to practice on you? It's hilarious how people's minds work. Yeah, you can pay. Here's my business card. You can book in like any other business, because we're all out here trying to survive and make money for our families, and you want freebies, which is fine. I mean, we can discount, but the fact that people just assume that they're going to get things for free because that's what you do. You know, I help people out. I've emceed weddings and all sorts of things. I love doing that stuff. I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, just that thought that you will do this for free for me because you're a massage therapist. It's fantastic. And I know that one of my mates, Ian, is the only one that listens this far into the podcast. Everyone's dropped out by now, Ian. You're the only one still listening. There were maybe 4 people at best who started watching this in the beginning. But you're the only one still left. And it's funny because I love the shit that you give me on Instagram and when we talk over the phone and things like that. I put up a post recently, if there is anyone else listening, that, I've got my head down and I put something along the lines of, when you realise no one's listening to your podcast, that Ian wrote as a comment saying, maybe if you were interesting or funny, people would listen. And it's hilarious. And because all this time I thought I could just get by on my looks. I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even need to be saying anything interesting. I've taken that approach with everything. I just need to be good looking. I just need to stand there and be good looking. I mean, that's how I got most of the way through my life. Most of you don't realise that I can barely read or write. I never did it. I was always the class clown at school. I never put in. I never tried. I never had to do it. I was just funny. The teachers actually loved me because of my personality, and they just kept bumping me up. I don't know how I passed. I don't know how I got anywhere. I don't know how I got my VCE, because all I did was just talk shit, be the clown. But at the same time, I was a good person. I was nice. I was nice to the teachers and I respected them. But at the same time, all I wanted to do was have a laugh. And I got to a stage where I'm like, oh, well, I'm ridiculously good looking as well, which paid off for me. And that's the bit that people don't realise, that they can try and do my shit, but they're not as good looking as me. Like Ian's saying this shit, and he's trying to be funny, and it is funny to me, I like it, but then he doesn't have the looks to go with it. So it's become like there's this guy who's like average at best, is hurling abuse, and he doesn't have the charisma like me to do it. It kind of comes across as awkward now, because now Ian's doing it. I just wanted to give you a little bit of I wanted you to have something in this podcast, Ian, because you've been such a great supporter of the podcast from day one. I mean, you're the first one to like it, to listen, to talk about, how shit my podcast is, but it means you've listened. The fact that you've listened, I appreciate that. And I'm singling you out, Ian, because I love you. I love the fact that you do this. You listen and you then tell me how pathetic I am. It's brilliant. So, but it's support, and that's what we need in this, guys, because I've said it so many times in the podcast, we're putting ourselves out there to be vulnerable and, to tell a little bit about our lives and show, talk about failures and things that we've done. And the fact that I know that I've got a friend there to support me at the end of the day and tell me how shit I am, it means a lot. It means so much. So thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thanks for being my one and only listener. Just if you could like each episode as well, or dislike it. Either way, it's interaction on my YouTube page. So like it, dislike it. I don't give a shit. Write a comment. We need everyone to subscribe to this channel. And also to my Instagram page. It has been a little bit quiet lately. Been getting other things done. But we're getting the ball rolling now. We're back on this. We're back on Trapani's Choice. As promised, I said that we are back. We've had 2 We're Back episodes. And now this one, we're here. I'm proving to you guys that Nick doesn't talk shit. I've never spoken in third person before. I think that's the first time. That Nick doesn't talk shit. Nick doesn't talk shit at all. I'm drinking water this time. I'm trying to stay hydrated. I'm trying to be a bit healthier. I've dropped quite a few kilos in the last couple of weeks, actually. And people say, how do you do that, Nick? And I just say I don't eat. It's simple, right? If you don't put food in, your body just needs to burn the fat. And that's the way I do it. I've been actually doing no carbs and no sugar, or very low. It just works for me. I didn't start doing it to lose weight. That's not why I did it. I suffer with issues with my gut. So I love food, as everyone knows. So I just eat everything and anything. And then at one point my body goes, Nick, enough, you're killing me. You can't physically drink that much. Eat that much food and then try and pump yourself full of that much amphetamines that, No, I don't do amphetamines. That's a joke. I'm talking shit. But, alcohol and food, it's one of those things that you start to become a glutton for. I just want to eat everything. I want to go to all these good restaurants and just shovel food in. And then now that I'm probably eating maybe once or twice a day when I'm doing a more keto diet. And I'm not doing that because I'm trying to. It's just, I'm not hungry. So I don't eat it. And then I look back to those portions that I used to eat. And I go to some of those restaurants that I go to and I'll just order maybe a steak and some veggies or a salad or something. And I see all that food coming out for everyone and I'm like, fuck me. How do I fit all that down? But I will. I'll get back to it because I like to fluctuate. What I do is I do this for a certain amount of time. My body starts feeling, my gut starts feeling good again. I start healing all my insides. And then I go, you know what, Nick? You deserve to go out and eat a burger. That's you go out and eat as much shit as you like, drink as much alcohol because you've earned it. You've earned it. That's a funny thing that we do. We think we've earned it and then we go back to our bad habits again rather than, I feel good, I should stay doing this. But I'll definitely throw in a few cheat meals here and there. I'm looking forward, as I said, I'm staying away again this weekend. Coming up Easter weekend. It's going to be good. I'm not a big chocolate person. I don't really like chocolate. So it doesn't bother me of not getting chocolate eggs for Easter or anything like that. Anytime that I sort of feel like chocolate, I take a bite of it and it never hits that mark that I think it's going to hit. When you crave something, you think, I feel like it. And you get it and you bite into it and you're like, this is shit. Maybe I'm not getting good quality chocolate. I don't know. I've tried so many different types. I've never really... It's okay. Chocolate's okay at best. Yeah, it wouldn't be my first. I'm a savoury guy, for dessert. Give me a cheese platter any day and I'll eat all the cheese. That's one of the best things about doing keto. I buy blocks of cheese and if I want a snack, I go to the fridge and like a piece of shit, I take a bite out of the cheese so every motherfucker in the house knows that's my cheese. No one eats it because there's still saliva around that bite mark as well. I leave it there and I just throw it there like a pig because now I'm an animal, right? I'm as Mark Sisson, who talks a lot about this, who's an amazing guy. If you want to check out any of Mark Sisson shit, he talks about, what's he called? He calls it a fat burning machine when you're doing low carbs and no sugar. So I start to think I'm like a machine and I get out there and I just bite into the cheese. But speaking about becoming something that you're not, where I stayed at the hotel last time, it's so funny because you're sort of driving there, and I've bought a new car recently, and I love my car. It's beautiful. It's a Kia Stinger. I absolutely love it. Like driving it, it's just amazing. And people look at it because there's not too many of them on the road. But the funny thing is, it's like you drive to the valet parking, and in my everyday life, I'm a very humble, caring. I try and help as many people as I can. I know I've come from, a certain place, and I'm nobody. I'm just a nobody walking around. But driving into this valet, it's like the second you get out of that car, you become an asshole. You're one of those assholes now. And I get out and I like throw the key to the fucking driver. I'm like, park my car, yeah? And then I walk in. To check in to the hotel, and there's a line, and I'm like, do these motherfuckers know who I am? It's like, do they know who I am? That I got to line up for this shit? Like, there should be a line for me. There should be a line there that I can just walk in because I've thrown my car key to this guy. I'm like, park it. Now check me in. Check me in straight away because I'm now a piece of shit. And what they don't realize is I've used all my Qantas points to get this room. I haven't even really paid for the room. It's come from points. And then you march upstairs like you're all that. You're not. So it's a very interesting thing how the mind... And then like you drive home and you become that nobody again. It's like I'm driving home. I'm a nobody. But for those 2 days, I was a rock star. You know what I mean? I'm staying in a hotel. I got valet parking. I don't even know if I could take my car out in the middle of the day. I don't know if that's possible. I just park it, leave it there, and then walk everywhere like a peasant. But while I'm in the hotel, I'm a boss. I'm a boss in the hotel. It's funny how that mind switches like that, and you can just basically turn into an asshole. I guess that's how these assholes are all the time because, they feel like that. They're throwing their keys to people all the time. Park that. And the guy's like, what do you mean park it? I'm in a car park of a supermarket. I've got my groceries. Why the fuck would I park your car? And you're just like, park it. Park that car. And he does it. He parks it for him. Leaves the key on the tyre. That's how things are done. But yeah, look, I'm trying to grow my hair out. As a lot of you know, I love going to my hairdresser. I still go twice a week just to get the sides done. But it's one of those things I'm unsure. I've never grown my hair before. I've always had very short hair. And it's like growing a beard. You sort of get to a stage where you're like, fuck it, I'm shaving it off. And I'm just trying to grow this as long as I can. And I reckon I'm going to get to that point where I'm like, okay, I've grown it. I can tie it back properly. I can leave it long. I can do what I like with it. And then I'm going to shave it. I'm going to shave it off and throw it away and go, why the fuck did I do that? Because I do that with games as well. People go, oh, there's this really cool game to buy. I remember years ago, that game, you got a farm on your phone. And every couple of hours you can go back in and do your crops and whatnot and everything. And I had a mate that was setting alarms during the night so he could get up and harvest his crops, make his money, plant more. So like around the clock, he was going. I'm the type of person, I start playing this game and then 5 minutes into it, I'm like, why? Why am I playing this? And I stop. I did it recently with this game, and it was a really cool game. It was a trivia game. And you can play against friends or you can play against random people. And it's like a board game. Your pieces move, and then bang, you got a trivia question, multiple choice, bang, bang, bang. Get it right, you move forward again. Another question, get it wrong, bang, other person's turn. I was playing the shit out of it for half a day. For half a day, I thought this was the best thing. And then I went, why? Why am I doing this? And I guess that's what people feel when they're listening to my podcast too. They sort of get to a point and they're like, why? Why am I doing this? And they stop. That's it. Done. And they turn it off and they never go back to the channel again. I do that with so many things in my life. I think about starting it. I do it. I'm not a game person. I'll kick a football. I'll play a sport. I'll play it till I die. But video games, games on my phone, I'm done with it. Social media, I'm a lot like, I look at it, I'm like, why am I looking at this shit? Why am I bothering? I can't be bothered with this shit. And I stop it. I just turn it off. And sometimes I throw my phone. Like someone's watching me go, oh, he's thrown it, he's done now. But I just throw it onto the bed or whatever. I'm like, I'm leaving that there because I'm done with it. If anyone calls me, I'm done. I'm done with it. And I throw it away. So if you guys want to do that with this podcast, that's fine. I understand where you'd be coming from. But I guess I'm going to leave you on that note today. I think we've done about 30 minutes. I think that's good. As I said, I'll be back again next week, pump out another one. Might even pump another one out later in the week. Who knows? I'm going to start pumping them out. Pumping them out. That's what I do. I'm back here doing it 100% for you guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, however you're doing this. Make sure you tell people about this shit. Tell them. Get on it. Get on Trapani's Choice. Why is it called Trapani's Choice? Because I'm Nick Trapani, and it's my choice to do what I want. So if I do want to take a break again, I will. If I want to pump them out, I will. It's Trapani's Choice. If I want to have someone on here with me, I will. It's my choice. I'm a comedian. It's my choice to talk about comedy. But I might talk about something else because that's my choice too. I might have someone on here very soon and we talk about conspiracy theories again. I'm going to get Gary on here. We're going to do it. I love conspiracy theories. I've started getting my whole leg tattooed with conspiracy theories. Now, it's funny because I love conspiracy theories. I laugh at them, and some of them are real. But I also laugh at them. But I also get it because my dad hates it. And he's like so disappointed that I have my whole leg tattooed now. I can see it like breaking him inside. So that's part of the reason why I do it. But I'm going to leave you on that. So make sure you click like on this video or dislike. I don't care. Comment on it. But also follow me on Trapani's Choice on Instagram. Trapani's Choice Podcast, it's called. Follow me on that, or Nick Trapani Comedian as my personal page. Hit me up, message me, comment on my page. You might be like Ian, where I just throw a whole section about you and what you do on here. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been Trapani's Choice.